y'all. So one of the things I really want to get back to is my TV show recaps. I used to love doing it, but then I got all wrapped up in this politics shit. So I figured what better series to do it on than Ava DuVernay's new series on OWN, Cherish the Day. I am so loving this show right now, okay? It's been 3 episodes, so I'm kind of on CP time, but it's not my fault. I didn't know when the show was coming out, okay? I just so happened to see, oh, the show is out already. Let me check it out. So I am going to break down what's going on. I will try to avoid, I'll tell you when the spoilers kick in, okay? So without spoiling the show, the main character is Gently. She's a free spirit. She's beautiful. She kind of had an interesting upbringing, like I said, not spoiling the show. And she works for this fabulous actress who's played by Cicely Tyson. And on the flip side, you have Evan. And Evan is like a straight-laced like tech guy, and he's really successful. He has a lot of money, but he's not free-spirited like Gently. And so the show overall is about, it's taking one day at a time of their relationship, interaction, however you want to call it. So that's all I can say without spoiling. It's a beautiful show for Black love. I'm hoping that it stays that way because, you know, we always have to have some goddamn trauma in our shows. And I just want a love story. Like, you remember Love Is? That was a love story. Now, people didn't care for some of the characters, but I did. I just liked the fact that it was a love story. We knew that the couple was together for 20 years. So I'm hoping that this is just a solid love story. No trauma, please, Ava, who's ever probably not watching, but watching. Now, for the spoilers, I'm going to go through each episode. So the first episode is called Genesis. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about that. So episode 1, we meet Gently. Gently is arguing her fucking ass off at this library because she insists. Now I'm skipping. I'm not going to tell you every moment. But anyway, Gently is at the library. Oh, wait. Hold on. Let me actually rewind a little bit. So the show actually opens up with a sex scene. And it's Gently getting it on with some guy, and it's Evan getting it on with some chick. Then they, I guess, the level and leave them type child because they get their ass up and they're going about their business. And they little partner's like, oh, give me a call. And they're like, don't call me, I'll call you. That's the energy they have. But anyway, okay. Now I got that out the way. That's important. So, in the library, Gently is trying to return some books, but she don't want to pay this massive fine. She's returning for this old lady. I don't mean old in the pejorative way, because Cicely Tyson is divine in the show, be clear. And so she's arguing, holding up the line. Chad, I would have cussed her ass out. I promise you, if I'd have been in line, she would have got cussed out. But Evan had different energy, so Evan steps in. Remember, I told y'all he got money jail. So he steps in and he offers to pay the fine. Gently is so fucking stubborn, though. She's like, nah, it's principle, and she needs to do the right thing in X, Y, and Z. So anyway, she's persuasive enough. She convinces the lady to waive the fee. Okay. And, Evan overhears Gently's name being, you know, mentioned by the librarian or whatever. So Evan finds Gently. That's a unique name. It's pretty easy to find. So he finds Gently on Instagram. This is so 2020, right? And he DMs her. So basically they decide to hook up. Not hook up sexually, but I mean hook up as in link up, you know, get together. And they do the ice cream. So I kind of felt a little bit of Obama tease in that, right? Because then, you know, the Obamas do the ice cream for their first day. So I got that vibe. Now, mind you, this show is taking place in LA, which I love about that because I grew up in LA. So anyway, they're having this ice cream. Was it ice cream? I think it was ice cream. Something like that. It was some kind of goddamn dessert. No, it was cake. It was cake. That's what it was. And Gently kind of does this thing where she's like, which one do you want? And then so they go back and forth. Anyway, it's a test. And Evan passes the test, but it's also totally fucking ridiculous that this is a test, right? So she's like, oh, if you chose the wrong one, I wouldn't be here because that would make me happy. And I'm like, what the fuck? So that's already my first hint that Gently might have a little bit of issues. But anyway, Evan is smitten. Okay, so he's along for the goddamn ride, child. So anyways, Evan offers to drop Gently off, or actually help Gently with move something. Okay, so she goes to her pop's house or her adopted father's house, and you know they ice grill him a little bit, and I like that little exchange, but you have to watch it. I'm not going to give away every detail. And so they go looking for this refrigerator. They get to the refrigerator. The refrigerator's in Carson. So now this go from West Adams to Carson. The people in Carson, apparently, Chad, they gone. They're not going to be there for another hour. So they go, they have this like arcade date and they're having a great time. They're eating nachos in the backseat of this El Dorado or some shit. I don't know. But then Evan asked her a question. He says something like, oh, sorry, why weren't your parents around? Because, you know, Jenny was saying she was kind of running around a little bit. And she felt judged. So she just completely flips the fuck out on Evan and like totally clams up. They were having a good time. And she's like, no, I'm done with this. And so he's like, okay, well, I don't know what I did. I'm sorry, Jelly, please don't do this. We were having a good time. But she just got a bad attitude, child. So they go to get the refrigerator. Because they're going there for a refrigerator. A very specific kind of refrigerator. For some reason, now, okay, let me tell you what happened, then I'll give you my commentary. So they go, she measures the refrigerator. The refrigerator won't fit. So Evan is like, well, do you think we could, you know, fit it in there? And she's like, no, I know. Right. And so he's like, well, why don't you just buy a new refrigerator? And she was like, you know, you're trying to fix things. And why does it have to be done your way? You just want to throw money at a problem and this time you got a problem. And totally wild the fuck out. So they get into an argument. He's like, dude, what the fuck is the problem? He's not saying dude. I'm saying dude. And so they get into this argument and basically she leaves him in Carson. Like, what a bitch, right? This guy is fucking drove your ass down or rode with you and kept your ass fucking company all day. And the minute he says something you don't like, you're like, I'm out this bitch. And so, Evan, luckily for him, we have Uber now, right? I mean, because back in the 80s, this would have been some shit. But since it's in 2019, 20, whatever, he has an Uber and he's very well to do. So he can afford to Uber home. But it's the fucking principle that he was left by a temper tantrum thrown gently. So, rewinding a little bit, Gently has apparently some abandonment issues, some trust issues, child, because, you know, her mom was in the streets and her dad, what happened? Did her dad die? I forgot. But anyway, it was some issues with her dad. So she was raised by her uncle. I think it was her uncle. So she has some issues, child. Don't we all have some kind of baggage? You know, we have so much trauma in our Black community, child. But that doesn't mean you get to be a fucking asshole to somebody who's just trying to help. So, Gently drives her motherfucking ass off, leaving Evan in Carson. But Carson is enterprising. He manages to get his way back to his car, which is a Tesla. I like that Tesla, child. But anyway, so Evan, kind of torn, pissed, but, you know, still drawn to Gently. Kind of looks at the window. Gently is looking out the window, child. But Gently is stubborn. And Evan, I won't call that stubborn, child. I'll call that having some fucking dignity. He drives off. And that's the end of episode 1. No happy ending. Episode 1. But season episode 2. This episode is called Synthesis. Episode 2. Fast forward a year later. Not everybody caught that. It was a year later. And Gently is at this art gallery opening exhibit. So is Evan with his friend. Or is it his brother-in-law? I think it's his brother-in-law. And so Gently is there with her friend. Her friend has more goddamn sense than Gently does. Okay. But, you know, they're there. They lock eyes. And Gently is like, oh my God, that's the guy left. That's Carson. And then Evan, you know, mentioned like, oh, that's Gently. And I forgot what the name that his brother-in-law had for her. But anyway, so they're both like horrified, embarrassed, but also like, oh, this is interesting. So Evan makes his way to Gently, or maybe Gently makes her, either way. So they're looking at this painting. They exchange, you know, pleasantries and things like that. Turns out Evan's rich ass bought the painting. I think it was like $20,000 or something like that. Anyways, so Gently, you know, that kind of, oh, what was the first thing he said? I think Evan said, apology accepted to Gently. Because, you know, Gently never apologized. And then she goes, apology accepted. And I'm like, what the fuck does Evan have to apologize for? So right now, y'all know I want a love story. But I'm like, nigga, run. Okay, Gently is fucked up in the head. You don't want to have those problems. Listen to your friend. Your friend is trying to tell you the right thing. This bitch is crazy. But Evan doesn't do that, which I'm happy about. The show does reel you in, jail. It does reel you in. And so Gently invites Evan out to bowling. He's like, maybe I'll come. But we know he's coming, right? So anyway, he shows up at the bowling alley. And Gently is all excited. And Evan you know, was kind of, you know, being social, whatever, with Gently's friend. Then Gently booty call boo shows up, you know, all up in Gently's space. And she's trying to play it off. Evan peeps it. Evan might low-key be a punk in that moment, though. Because you can't just... But then again, it's been a whole year. So who is he to say anything about some man coming to try to talk to Gently? Not his place. But still, the ego has to be like, ugh. Anyways. So, long story short. Evan, acting like kind of like a little punk. He fucking twists his ankle. So Evan ends up having, because somebody ran into him. In his defense, somebody ran into him, okay? So he twists his ankle. And so Gently takes him to the hospital. So that's an all-day thing. And, you know, they kind of bond a little bit. I thought the scene was cute. Again, not going to go down every single detail. And, you know, Evan is about to go wheeled back in. I would think with his kind of money, he'd have better insurance. But, you know, the emergency room was a different story. So when he gets wheeled back in and they say their goodbyes. But lo and behold, when he leaves the emergency room and he's trying to call up his brother-in-law, I guess, Gently is there to take Evan home. That was so good. That was so good. I was like, yes, Gently, you're redeeming yourself, girl. So Gently takes him to his very, very nice house, child. Very nice. And Venice is a real nice setup he got, okay? He got the Tesla, y'all gonna be like, oh, you bougie bitch. Okay, I don't give a fuck. I own that. But he had a nice house. So, you know, he had this really elaborate, like, record thing. So he's playing records and she's dancing, doing her free spirit thing. And they kind of bond, they exchange things. And it's just a moment. It's a moment. I'm not even gonna spoil it, but it's a moment. Trust me on that. And so, you know, they just have their moments. They're kind of, you know, feeling it a little bit. So, but, you know, then Gently goes to the bathroom. Well, while she's in the bathroom, she sees a bra, a La Perla bra. Now, remember, Gently ain't got money like that. So she's already thinking, oh, you got a bougie bitch up in here. She comes out wilding the fuck out on Evan. And I'm like, bitch, you got a lot of nerve to be wilding out on Evan when you just had this fool at the bowling alley snuggling up in your fucking... over up in this area. Now, she was trying to get him off of her, but still. Evan points out, hey, remember dude from the bowling alley? I didn't trip on you. But he's like, this woman means nothing to me. She's not my girlfriend. Whatever she's done, she's passed whatever he pleads with Gently. And it works. It works. So they have another moment. And that is episode 2. So, episode 3. This episode is called Oasis. And that's exactly what Gently and Evan find themselves in. An oasis of love. They are still lovebirds. And I am excited about this because I wanted no drama. I just wanted them to be happy. So they're in bed together. They're snuggling. They have great chemistry. Now, I've seen some reviews. Some people feel like they don't have chemistry. I think they have amazing chemistry. So I approve. Okay. And so it's a big day. Now remember, each episode is one day in their relationship. So this is a big day. Evan is throwing his parents a big, I think 35th anniversary party, but several decades anniversary party. And he really, really, really wants Gently to come. And she don't want to come. But his charm works on her and she agrees to come. But at the same time, her mom, she finds out her mom is in town. Now remember, her mom is in the streets, okay? And so she's trying to get in contact with her mom. And it's just like a little bit of anxiety that she's having, that she's not in. So the whole time I'm like, oh God, here we go with this shit. Gently is going to fucking ditch Evan for his mom's birthday party. And he's going to be so pissed and it's going to be a big fucking disaster. And the episode is going to end with them breaking up and I can't take it. That doesn't happen though. That doesn't happen. So I'm happy to report that. It's just a little bit of tension throughout the episode. And so Gently wants the approval of her mom. She wants to get in contact with her mom. She wants to help her mom. But her adopted pops, uncle, whatever he is like, bitch, no, she is not coming in my house. Absolutely fuck not. Last time she was here, her ass was stealing. I don't want no fucking parts of it. And matter of fact, you shouldn't want no goddamn parts of your mama's shit either. She ain't never gonna be shit, and you need to fucking get that through your head. Now, he didn't use those words. He was much more artful. Remember, this is an Ever DuVernay show, not something I would write. So, So that's that on that. Now, Evan and Gently are together all day. They take Evan's niece to get her hair done. And, you know, it progresses. The episode progresses to the party. And, you know, Evan's parents are obviously well-to-do. It kind of went a little Tyler Perry, you know, evil, light-skinned lady shit with the mama. That was predictable. But, you know, it is what it is with that. Okay. But the dad, it seemed like the dad's supposed to be kind of like a drunk. And the sister is high strung. Okay. She got issues. So anyway, Gently is at the party. She's getting grilled by the mother's sorority sisters. They're being very bougie. And the mother comes, and the mother is being catty as well, but she's like, oh, have a drink. So obviously the mother doesn't approve, right? So things happen throughout the episode. Gently does get in contact with her mom. Her mom's like, yeah, Gently, you need to come over here. I was trying to figure out, okay, how old is her mama? Because her mama sounded a little hood radish, okay? But Gently's mom was like, yeah, you need to come get me and give me $40 or whatever the fuck the amount was. And, you know, so Gently is having that kind of, you know, back and forth with her mom, but she seems like she's going to oblige. Meanwhile, Evan gives this really scathing speech about his parents, even though it was like sneak scathing because he was talking about all these good things that they taught him, which they clearly did not teach him because his mom was a bitch. So, you know, he was being ironic. And his mama was not having the shit. His mama said that he humiliated her. Oh, the dad got drunk and threw up everywhere. So he was cleaning up the dad's puke upstairs. Then the mama come up there cussing his ass out and talking about how Gently is beneath him. And Evan stands up to his mom, which I was very happy to see. Because sometimes these people can go the other way, right? They can punk out and be like, yeah, well, my mama don't like you, so I don't like you, fuck you. But I was really happy that did not happen. And so, of course, naturally, right? This is what always happens. Gently overhears the conversation. But Evan is like, fuck that, we're out of here, and storms out. And Gently's like, no, you need to stay with your mom, your family's important, which I thought was very, very, very gracious of her. But Evan was like, no, it's me and you now, let's go. Which I thought was so romantic. That was so romantic. So they end up driving off. I don't know how the fuck they drove all night, and they ended up what it looked like to be at the LAX on the side of the road on a dirty ass mattress. That did not compete with me. I would have thought, okay, maybe Mulholland Drive or somewhere in Malibu, some cliffs, something more scenic. But I guess, you know, the imagery with the airplane, you know, she likes to travel and all this other kind of shit. I did leave out some other details, but you can watch the show and get the rest. But they had another moment. And that's what I love about this show. This show gives you moments. It gives you moments of romance, moments of love. Cherish the day. I definitely feel like it gives you that feel. If that ain't your zhuzh, you probably ain't watching this video by now. You probably would have been turning the shit off. But if it is, then keep watching. I love that it ends with them professing their love for each other. And it seemed like Gently is trusting and opening up to Evan. And Evan certainly seems like he is trustworthy. So the previews, I couldn't really get a read on what was happening. Kind of looked like some drama, which I'm like, oh God, no. But hopefully it's not drama that ends in heartbreak. Because I'm going to be so pissed if that happens. And I will come back and I will tell you how fucking pissed I am. But in the meantime, I do appreciate that it seems to be a love story. So I watched all these episodes in one night, which means if you're behind, check it out. You can catch up on it. It's a very, very, very easy, smooth watch. Don't act like y'all don't watch 3, 4, 5 episodes on Netflix of a TV show a night. Okay, so you can catch up. But even if you don't catch up with all the episodes by tomorrow, just start watching the show. We have to support Black love shows. Y'all can't complain about ratchet shows. You can't complain about writing on other people's shows if you don't support Black shows. So my plea to you, if anything that I said sounds good, if you're still watching, check it out.